Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks Live Toy Talk Show. Today we're going to talk about the reveal of the San Diego Comic-Con 21 exclusive MOTU Revelation Scareglow available on Mattel Creations. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this lunch break edition of Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, with a new computer and a very fancy camera, John. John, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. It was kind of this Scareglow news dropped, and we kind of talked about it on the show. Like, if it's a big thing, we should just jump on and talk about it. And then it happened this morning, and John was the first one to tell me about it. And I was like, do you just want to like jump on during my lunch break? And you didn't have a computer, so you went and got a computer so we could be here to talk about this new Scareglow today. I know the chat has been hopping since I made the post a couple hours ago. So excited to be here with our fellow Toy Geeks. If you're on the East Coast during lunch break, West Coast, you're just starting your day, I think. And if you're in Britain, this is like a perfect dinner time.
Take out the TV trays and gather around.
Exactly. But either way, tons of toy news, tons of toy stuff dropping. Before we even get into, just very quickly, we'll dig into it more on the normal Sunday show. But the Galactus was long rumored and revealed today at 32 inches. Which, you say all that's what she said's all you want, but let's see, 32 inches. Here we go. Like it doesn't. That's gigantic.
They showed it next to the Sentinel. Oh my god!
I can't even get it in if I go diagonal, maybe. But anyways, a pretty darn big figure. We'll dig into that more on Sunday. The G.I. Joe Ultimates, amazing. Lot to talk about there. The San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that have already been revealed for Mattel. But the Hot Wheels stuff looks great, as well as the Pixar stuff, Jurassic Park, Sergeant Slaughter looks amazing. Really, that looks awesome. But really, what we are here to talk about today is the Masters of the Universe Revelation Scareglow unveiled today. Early this morning, I think by Action Figure Insider. Crazy stuff. How much? $3.99 for Galactus, but Scareglow's only $35. We'll get into the nitty gritty here. But ton of you in the chat already. I mean, I can't even go back, but J Mac, Roberto, Chris. I love the conversations happening before the show starts. I even jumped in too. Macy. Let's keep going here. Smedberg and Landros, Phineas, Todd Smith. Throwback Turtle, Mindless Focus. I think I got J-Mac already. Keep going. All Music Fan is here. Greg Martinez, Bo Kaggle. So a lot of you are able to jump on during this earlier day, which is pretty cool. Nothing for Origins revealed so far, but that doesn't mean that it won't happen. They're doing reveals through the end of next week. So more to come there, I assume. But the thing is, and tell me if I'm off on this, John, but really, to me, the PowerCon exclusives very much felt like maybe what Origins would have gotten for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive anyway. But do you think we might get even more for Origins?
Yeah. I get a feeling one of those redacted items on the Mattel Creations list is going to end up being something Origins.
Yep.
It would be, kind of foolish not to have something Origins related in all the Mattel Creations announcements coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So today was the official MOTU product reveal. There are 2 redacted slots on July 20th, July 21st. We both assumed on Sunday when we were talking about this that it'd probably be a MOTU slot. And then a surprise drop on the 23rd, which again is when MOTU Revelations drops. So it would seem like something that could be spoilery, even though I think there's slightly spoileriness to the Scareglow figure. We'll dig into that in a second. But maybe it's something they don't want to reveal until it's closer to MOTU Revelations, or it could be a MOTU Origins spot as well.
Yep.
But still, pretty cool stuff. But yeah, Wonder Bread He-Man, please. But then if it's a Comic-Con exclusive, that's just a whole nother level. But yes, it is official. We're getting a Revelation version of Scareglow, and it was unveiled first thing this morning on Action Figure Insider, and a few other things as well. There's going to be a Battle Labbit. I know this is a thing. It's not my cup of tea. But and it's $50, which is pricey.
Yeah.
So it would cool if you like it. So that's neat. At least it's not $700, seeing that's on Mattel Creations. And then not the Scareglow. If you haven't gotten it already, they're about $5 usually. These they had Land Shark, Battle Ram, and Wind Raider. But it looks like they made versions of the world's tiniest action figures. But the problem with if you already have them, they don't bend. So if you put it in, it doesn't really sit in it. So it looks like they have solved that with little versions of the characters that actually sit in the Wind Raider and Land Shark with He-Man and Skeletor, which is pretty cool. But it is $35, which is a little steep because it's the same vehicle. It's $5 and $5. So that's $10. And I think the world's smallest action figures are $5 each. So you could buy those separately for $20. So for $15 more, you get a figure that I guess can sit.
Or you could just cut the legs off your world's smallest that you already own.
And then
they do look better though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
They look way better than the world's smallest ones.
They do. Because I have the Skeletor. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as the way that one looks.
But not $35 better.
No, not at all. All right. Well, let's get to the main attraction here. Revelation Scareglow. And let's read a description. Masters of the Universe, Masterverse is an exciting new line from MOTU figures. This collection edition, collector's edition of Scareglow, the skeletal ghost warrior whose loyalties are to evil Skeletor, is highly detailed, features a glow-in-the-dark skeleton and head, highly articulated. This figure has 30 working joints for battle scenes and power posing. Figure comes with a posable cape, the Sigh of Doom, plus extra hands, and special LED packaging. Includes purple and white lights that brilliantly display the glow-in-the-dark effect. So, two things of note out of the description for me. One, this collector's edition of Scareglow, to me, signals that we will get a normal release of Scareglow. Because I'll tell you what, John, when you told me when it was a Comic-Con exclusive, this was my reaction. So the fact that they call this the collector's edition of Scareglow leads me to believe we'll get maybe just a normal release that doesn't have all the fancy features of this packaging, which was done by Roy Juarez. Looks really awesome. But if it has the LED lights and everything, that's pretty cool. I'm down with that. This looks really neat. But
packaging looks amazing.
Yeah, really freaking cool. So if it does something like this when you open it up, hell yeah. Absolutely. Oh, wait, go back. I think that's really freaking cool. But John, what's your kind of first take here on this new Revelation Scareglow?
First, I think the biggest thing that grabbed me was the black body rather than a more of a white body with the bones. It's almost reversed.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? But like you said, definitely going to get a basic release. And I think to make it more, desirable to purchase the regular release, maybe they'll include an extra accessory, sort of like the classic Scareglow came with the Key of Grayskull. Yep. Remember? And that looked like a little tube with Grayskull on top. I think if they include something extra in a basic release figure, it'll give, we're all going to want both.
Well, and this is where I feel it's a bit of a spoiler with this figure to me. And just as much as Skelegod as a toy is a bit of a spoiler because we don't kind of reveal what happens going to happen to Skeletor at some point in time. But in the full trailer, and I'll pull it up right now, one, we see this version of Scareglow in that trailer. But let me pull it up here. The separating of the swords is shown, and it's kind of talked about how I guess He-Man had to separate the power swords to prevent Skeletor from winning. Let me see if I can. Here we go. So we got the two halves of the power sword featured in the trailer. And the fact that this comes with seemingly two halves of the power sword, they also put it together in a separate hilt that glow in the dark, which is pretty cool. We see that the post-apocalyptic Tila, Orko, and crew face off against Scareglow.
Yep.
And from what we know, they're trying to probably find the power sword so that Prince Adam can become He-Man again and save the world or whatever, find the magic and blah blah blah. That's probably one of the main driving plot points of the show. So it's to me, it seems like, okay, well, are they going to face Scareglow because maybe he's standing in the way of getting the two halves of the power sword? That's how I'm reading it. But what's your thoughts there, John?
I totally agree. But I also think this is, it is too much of a spoiler showing us this now prior to the cartoon coming out.
Yep.
I think they should have shown us this figure, on the Friday that the cartoon does premiere. I think it's a little, putting the, what is the expression? The cart and the horse.
Horse. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I totally agree with your idea for the story. I just don't think that they should have shown it to us yet.
I think if they're showing it and they didn't mind showing it, then it must not be that important of a plot point,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whereas maybe even Skelegod even more so is like, we had no idea of that being a thing. So I think that's even more of a hit. But the design and what we're seeing, as you pointed out, the black body is the same here, right? You can see it's kind of, he has the black outline, and then the bones themselves are the glow in the dark piece. So the style that you're pointing out here of this version of Scareglow, which is different than all the ones that become before, it definitely echoes the look that we're going to get in the new series.
Yep. And initially, but before we've seen Scareglow and this figure, when we first saw Skelegod, I really thought, because Scareglow is the ghost of Skeletor, that at the end or the very beginning of the end of season 1 or the beginning of season 2, we would see Skelegod and he would be defeated.
Yeah.
Scareglow would come after him. I always, like, in my mind, my story was Scareglow would be the actual ghost of Skeletor post Skelegod.
Oh,
so if Skelegod was defeated, so create Scareglow.
I love that theory. I think that's really cool because I agree with you. As a kid, I liked the ghost of Skeletor. I think a lot of kids felt that way about Scareglow back the day before it was kind of separated as two different characters. Even in the description here that they wrote, very much seems to separate the two, Skeletor and Scareglow. Yep. But I really like that theory that you're putting out, that Scareglow is after Skelegod's defeated, but maybe he still has the halves of the power sword and they have to go defeat him or something. I don't know. But that'd be really cool. That'd be kind of like a bit of kid fan fiction kind of playing out in a really cool way.
Yep.
Scaregod. Friday Mac, love that idea, John. Old School Shinobi, a Friday nooner, unprecedented. Not as fun as other types of nooners, but still. And I believe, I'm trying to remember who said it in the chat. Chris Nolan, I think, pointed this out earlier in the chat about an hour ago or so. And I did want to call it out. But the buck of the Scareglow, at least to me, seems like it looks more like the Skelegod buck. So the bigger chest piece, slightly thicker legs and arms, and compared to the Skeletor body, which has a smaller upper body relatively, I mean, slightly small. Again, slightly smaller proportions than the Skelegod. What makes up a lot of the Skelegod bulk is like the armor and the gauntlets and stuff like that. So, and then, let's try it, and then I'll pull up the Scareglow. It's very similar. At least I thought it was a really good call out that it seems like Scareglow uses the Skelegod buck as opposed to the Skeletor buck. But what's your thoughts there on that observation?
It definitely looks like it. It looks, I mean, all the way up and down, it definitely looks like it uses some Skelegod parts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The his boots look more like that. Everything looks a lot more like that. Ooh, you got some wind going on there?
my ring cam is going
Oh,
off.
nice. A lot more people come to the door during the day than at night.
Yes. We have to deal with the daytime activity.
I will say I like the cloth goods cape here better for both, and I'm going to put this in my review when I get to it. Now I'll probably have to do my Revelation figure review tomorrow. But the Skelegod cape is way cooler than, again, the Skeletor cape is really boring and plain. But
it's just cut fabric.
It's just cut.
It's so hokey.
It's a great figure, but God, this cape is so bad. At least it looks like the cape here on the Scareglow looks pretty cool. But I will say, even though the cut's bad, it has a good it falls pretty nice. It's just a shame they didn't, I don't know, tatter it up or something, or at least give it something more dynamic than a trapezoid. But yeah, I think, again, if we're frustrated that's a Comic-Con exclusive, and I totally get it, the way the description was done makes it definitely seem like this is the convention exclusive version, and they will do a normal retail release version. Even more, and it's maybe even less so than some of the Hasbro exclusives sometimes, where they eventually just make a retail release. Maybe the exclusive part is just the packaging, and maybe this extra splitting power sword is the extra thing here, and maybe the retail release will only come with his Saya Doom, which I would be fine with personally. But what's your thoughts there? Because you mentioned that it'll come with maybe one less accessory. Do you think the splitting power sword is that accessory here for this Comic-Con exclusive?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the splitting power swords and the packaging will make this the exclusive. Maybe even the cloth goods cape. It might have a lesser, more Skeletor trapezoid cape.
No.
Although we don't know right now. The regular release of a Scareglow could be a completely different figure that uses the standard buck pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Because this one does look a little bit more beefy up top using Skelegod parts.
Yeah. So
maybe there is two versions. Maybe, it's the unknown right now without seeing any episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My hope is the normal retail release just kind of keeps most of this the same. I don't see why they would make it that much different, because it would really tick people off.
Yeah.
So my hope is maybe the packaging is not going to be as cool. It's not going to have the LED lighting. It's probably going to be the same packaging that Skelegod and the Faker exclusive come in, the bigger one. And maybe it's just the side Doom and you don't get the splitting swords. That would, if I was, taking it a bit away, taking a bit of the specialness away, that's what it would be for me. Even though I really like making the cape lesser than, I think would be really frustrating. Making it using the smaller buck, I think would also be frustrating. But again, I think anything can happen. But I would lean more towards maybe, again, just not the crazy packaging, and maybe not the splitting power swords. But we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. We know the next wave of Revelation figures does not have Scareglow in it, so it would have to be like a wave 3 or wave 4 kind of thing for this figure. I've seen some questions about when this will be available to purchase. It's going to be on July 22nd on MattelCreation.com. And I'll pull it up right now. I think it's already on there. Mattel creations.mattel.com. 12 Days of Fandom. Is it on here?
I don't think it's actually up yet.
Okay. Well,
I checked yesterday, and none of the announcements are on the actual page yet.
Seems like most of them have been on they've been posting them on Action Figure News Insider, but they will post up on July 22nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They've listed 9 a.m. because Mattel's a California company. So 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, almost the same as the old Matty Collector days. It kind of gave me like chills. I'm like, oh. of that type of experience. We've talked about it for a long time that Mattel Creation is a successor to Matty Collector in a lot of ways, even though most of the stuff they've done so far has been more art focused releases. But in the absence of Comic-Con happening this year, they're obviously leveraging the Mattel Creation site to sell it. So mark your calendars, July 22nd, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That's Thursday. It's the day before Revelation drops. This will go live to be sold. And we do not know what that experience is going to be like. It could be an absolute ish show. And that is if there is the big of this whole situation is that it is a Comic-Con exclusive. Comic-Con's not happening, so it's online only through a Mattel Creation site that we maybe necessarily hasn't been tested and pushed the way a Comic-Con exclusive toy gets pushed on different websites. Because even like Entertainment Earth last year, trying to load and get some of those figures on some of those days was miserable, and that's a well-known, heavily used toy selling site. So I hope, I'm gonna cross my fingers that the servers, whatever they're using for Mattel Creation, is up to the task of selling this toy, and all the other ones are going to be releasing. Because our most recent kind of online exclusive experience with the PowerCon exclusives was not great for a lot of people. And I fingers crossed it's not an awful experience, but I'm also not gonna expect it not to be awful.
Right.
What's your thoughts, John?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the biggest test for Mattel Creations, as taking orders so far. The Crystal Skeletor, the Grogu thing in his pod, everything they've done so far. Nothing has sold out in minutes or hours. Everything tends to stay up for a day, but they're loading all of their announcements up at the same time, all going on sale at the same time. Everyone wants Scareglow. That Ultimate Hulk Hogan figure is good. People are going to go crazy for that.
Yep.
This is definitely going to test them, and it's going to test our patience too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad you got a new laptop, John, because you're going to need that extra speed.
Yeah, big time. Although I will say, one good thing about Mattel Creations is their product limits.
Oh, good. That's good. I mean, that's the key, because I think what has made it darn near impossible for human beings to be successful at this is the way scalpers have used bots to game the system.
Yep.
And I think that's the key to making this work is product limits, are you a human being CAPTCHA system? Just put in those steps to ensure that, one person can't buy 100 of these things. And we'll see. All Music Fan, the PowerCon crap did it for me. It's impossible. All at the same time, inconceivable. Greg Martinez, so my career as an Uber driver starts today. Rick says, scalpers will know about this, and it'll be rough toy drop for sure. When Skelegod starting hitting stores, there were 6 pages of eBay listings for that figure. Scalpers are insane. Old School Shinobi, Jay and John should live stream their purchasing the figs online with credit card numbers and plans. Sure. Whatever you need, Old School.
Yeah.
Also, those bots were in pre-orders on Mono for me too. Yes, it is a pleasant surprise that there's going to be limits. He-Man Revelations watch party. I know Ralph and I are gonna be doing a special Screen Geeks the day of the show. Adam Smedberg, I think there needs to be a live stream of the purchasing process. It could be cathartic for those of us who miss out. I don't know. I don't think I want to stream me being really ticked off.
No. We try and keep it family friendly.
Exactly. I don't need I don't think we need to bring that heat, or it's just, again, I don't need to blast out to the internet probably my worst moments as a human being.
You don't want to see a grown man cry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Geek Strong. I always fail at least once the bot pick a picture test. One of my favorite bits is one that John Mulaney does about the bot, the CAPTCHA system. Have you seen that John Mulaney bit? Oh, it's hilarious. Look it up. I'm not gonna read it because it never works when I try it, but it's really, really funny. But he makes it like a troll trying to prove that you're a human being to cross the bridge. It's really, really funny. Also, will John Jay and Ralph ever come together for a special 3 Amigo stream? Can MOTU Revelations bring them all together? Hey, listen, I'm down for it. It's more out of respect to John's time. I don't want to take up too many nights away from his significant other. But if you're down, John, we could do a special 3.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably have to be if we did it on Friday, I couldn't do Sunday.
Oh, see, I don't want to lose our Sunday time. All right, we'll see.
It's got to be a one or the other.
But yeah, the thing about John, you have to remember, is he goes to bed super early, so staying up for Toy Geeks is a big deal. So he's usually gassed by the time we're done with Toy Geeks on Sunday night.
I'm waking up about 4 hours after we end recording.
But anyways, let's see. Mr. Dean says, are we getting Revelation and Dump or weekly? No, it's all 5 are drop. It's Netflix, so Netflix doesn't do a weekly drop. They're all going to drop on Friday, all 5 episodes. Definitely watch yesterday's Screen Geeks. We talked about all the news we got about Revelation up to this point. But one of the big reveals is it will end with a pretty big cliffhanger at the end of episode 5 that'll probably have us all feeling like crap. And we got to wait for however long till the next 5 episodes drop. So it is a halfway point, and then the next 5 will come out at some point in the future, maybe next year, who knows? But it's a 2-halved season that will end on a cliffhanger. And then speaking of Sunday, will you both be on this Sunday? That is the plan. I am going to a baseball game in the daytime. We should be able to be back in time to do the live stream because I do want to dig into all of the toy news right now because, again, Galactus, G.I. Joe, all of the other Mattel reveals. I'm sure there'll be more as everybody's starting to reveal their Comic-Con stuff. I would like to do it on Sunday. So with fingers crossed, we should be able to still do it on Sunday. But that's the plan. That is the plan. As long as John's game.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, so there you have it. It's $35, which I think is pretty reasonable. When the 2 Hot Wheel cars with the greatest smallest figures ever is $35, but this is $35. I think that's a really reasonable price for a Comic-Con exclusive because Skelegod, which if it's scaled similarly to Skelegod, is $30 retail, so $5 more, and you're getting a pretty badass figure with a box that has LEDs and all this cool stuff to probably really showcase the glow in the dark feature. That's a great price.
It is great price.
So,
fantastic price. It's going to be times 10 on eBay.
Right. God, I hope not. All right. Well, John, any other final thoughts here before we break on our special lunch break edition of Toy Geeks?
I just hope we can all get it. I hope every one of us. I hope there's no lag time. The site loads properly, and we all walk away with Scare Glow.
Please. Oh my God. I mean, not $3,500 on eBay. No. Hopefully we can all get it. Please. And yeah, no live streams of us purchasing it because again, you don't want to see grown men cry over a toy. Oh, man. All right. Well, there you have it for our special lunch break edition of Toy Geeks. Thank you all in the chat for jumping on and talking about this very big reveal of Scareglow. Again, a ton of toy reveals this week with Comic-Con coming up, like the Marvel Legends Galactus, G.I. Joe Ultimates line, all the other Mattel stuff. So definitely be sure to join us at our normal time, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll dig in a lot more on these different topics. But Scareglow gets the day today. We're all really excited. Again, July 22nd, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until next time, hasta luego and goodbye.